Hey, this episode is brought to you by NailYourZone.com. Nail Your Zone features a huge collection of licensed vendors of Greek and Masonic paraphernalia. You're sure to find something that you're going to love, so check them out today at NailYourZone.com. If you'd like to share your Greek story, visit GreeklySpeaking.com and sign up to be a guest on the show. Hi, welcome to Greekly Speaking. I'm Eric Tucker, and joining me for this episode is Eric Usher of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Eric holds the distinction of being a 2005 charter member of the Omicron Omega chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi at Clayton State University. Eric is also the founder of the Prophytes app, which is a social networking platform for Greeks. Please welcome to the show, Eric. How are you doing today, man?
All is well, my brother. All is well. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. You know, it's pandemic 2020, so if you made it this far, man.
That question is loaded.
I know, right? I know it really is, but we're here, and it's been a year of evolution from all types of perspectives. And man, I was introduced to some of the things you have going on by some individuals over at the Nail Your Zone who we both know and hold dear and dear. And I just thought it'd be great to reach out to you, just kind of hear your Greek story and see what brought you to the fold of Greekdom and what other things you have going on. How about that?
I appreciate that. I appreciate the invite. I appreciate the opportunity to speak about it.
That's good, man. So Clayton State University, how did you land there and what attracted you to Kappa Alpha Psi?
So I went to Albany State my freshman year. So I was able to have the whole HBCU experience, and it was very exciting to kind of see how the Greeks operated on campus. And I was fortunate enough my first year to kind of be heavily involved on campus. I was Holly Ambassador. I was the guy that was giving tours to incoming freshmen and students that were kind of looking to Albany State as an opportunity. I was that guy that was just very active in the whole college experience. And I remember my freshman year going to a Kappa probate for the first time. And mind you, I mean, I'm coming from New York. My background is very somewhat sheltered. And to be exposed to that whole Black Greek life culture and seeing the response of everybody and seeing how these guys who are my friends kind of outside of Kappa, and then out of nowhere, they revealed themselves on a stage like, oh, I didn't know you were going through this. And then now to see the transformation from who I knew to who they are now was just like, wait a minute, what happened here? That you changed? What's going on here for the better? And I was really impressed by that. So that was my first introduction to D9 on the Albany State campus. And then freshman year, I wanted to be closer to home. And I was actually going to pursue entrepreneurship because that was always been a passion of mine. But my mother was like, nope, you need to go back to college. We're not playing that game. And I found this perfect campus for you, Clayton State. I was like, Clayton State? Where's Clayton State? She's like, it's in Georgia. I said, in Georgia? And it's actually South Georgia. It's right under the 75. And I saw the pictures. Beautiful campus. Oh, my gosh. The campus is gorgeous. Lakes is it was a non-traditional school. So they had the non-traditional students and the traditional students. So at that time, there were only about 4 organizations on campus. And Kappas weren't even on campus at all. I believe it was just the Alphas and the Deltas and the Sigmas that were on campus at the time. And, we became close and we became friends. And one of my buddies told me that there was a interest meeting for Kappa. I missed it because I didn't know where to look or anything like that. I was just oblivious. I was in my own world. And he was like, man, we got to do this, man. I was like, from what I experienced, I don't know if I want to do this. And then I just kind of remember just how it made me felt, and I was that curiosity that like, what is this? Let me do my research. So I started doing my research. I started kind of seeing the non-social side of Greek, and what enticed me even more was we had an opportunity to become charter members. So he's like, well, you understand that you'll be the first, like you guys will be the first, and I was like, okay, I don't know what that means. So then I met with the advisor, and first thing he asked for was my transcript. Give me your transcript before we even talk. Let me see your transcript. And at that time, I had a 3.8. So I had the highest GPA on the line. So they were like, oh, we definitely going to take you. You're going to make our GPA even better. And in order to have a charter line, you have to have X amount of members. So the next hurdle was coming up with the money. And so I reached out to my mom's network and my friends like, hey, I'm trying to do something. I wrote this very eloquent email and sent it out to all her friends. And a lot of her friends really helped out. That was pretty instrumental in becoming who I am today. And I was able to cross. And now I'm the charter member of Omicron Omega chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi. So that was the beginning of my Kappa journey.
Wow. Let me say this. As the first member of Kappa Alpha Psi to join us on Greekly Speaking, you are officially a recipient of the title of charter member of Greekly Speaking from a D9 perspective, man.
Hey,
so
we
have some lovely grocery store coupons for you.
Thank you.
So, don't take this lightly, because everybody's going to have to learn your name before they come on the show. So.
I didn't know what it meant. I genuinely did not know what it meant. I just knew that I had the opportunity to become the first at my school. And thinking about my experience at Albany State, I said, oh, I could bring this whole Albany State experience to Clayton State, because it wasn't really there. And it's funny because I speak to a lot of older Greeks, and our biggest lesson was deference. Deference was the biggest thing that we learned. Yeah, you have to give deference to Greeks. You have to give deference to the people that came before you. And I always highlight that I'm a charter member only because one of the benefits of it is I had to learn everybody else's information. I had to understand why everyone else played a vital role in the D9. So that I grew a passion for Greek unity, and I kind of grew a desire to learn about other people's organizations, which is kind of why Profites even is today. Because I know when you pledge an undergraduate chapter, a lot of times you hate everybody. It's this robbery that's been, oh, screw them, we're gonna fight them at the party. But I didn't come in that way. I came in with, you need to learn who everybody is so you can understand why they're here.
Hey, that's beautiful, man. Can you imagine what would happen if every, NPHC Greek happened to get unified?
God.
You may end up like winning an election or something,
Oh my God. It would be huge.
But look, and I want to touch on that in a minute, because you have some things going on that I'm dying for our listeners to hear about. But first of all, so you said you were on the charter line. How many people came in with you?
It was 5 of us that came, and then we had to onboard 2 additional members that were actually on campus to make it an official charter.
So what was the name of the line?
So my line was 3 the hard way.
Okay.
So there's the political approach to joining the organization, and then there's the non-political approach to joining the organization. I had the privilege of experiencing both. And I like to highlight the political aspect more so than anything because of the positive things that are being done in the community.
Exactly. And what I tell people all the time is the initiation doesn't start till after you get the letters. That's where the work is put in, man. And it's an eye-opening experience, isn't it?
It is. You're like, oh, shoot, I thought this was it. Nope, it just started.
So we're 3 the hard way. What was your line name and number?
My line name was Shakespeare, and I was the Ace Club. Of course, I'm very short, but it was 3 the hard way.
So Shakespeare, what's up with that?
So I went to Albany State in a theater major, and then when I went to Clayton State, they were establishing a theater major, and at that time, Clayton State was a very predominantly white school. We were in there. Now you go to Clayton State, it's all us. But at that time, it was predominantly white. And at that time, they had a new theater major and a new theater department head. And he wanted to do Hamlet as the play that we introduced to the board to show that there's talent here to, become accredited in the theater department. And he asked me to play Hamlet. And I was like, excuse me. And at that time, I had locks. So I was like, I don't think I should be Hamlet as the lead Black guy in the all-white cast. I don't think that's a smart idea. But he insisted, and I was like, all right, I'm up for the challenge. And I was able to nail it. I was able to do a good job, and that kind of coined Shakespeare as like the name. I became the Shakespearean brother. And then I remember during intake, I was asked to do Invictus, and I did it in a very Shakespearean way. So every time I did Invictus, I had to be very Shakespearean. So that's the line name, Shakespeare with a capital K.
I would ask you to get into character, but we're gonna move on, man.
Oh yeah, not today.
I just have a couple of more questions for you, man. So what impact would you say being Greek and specifically a member of KSI has had on your life?
Major impact. One of the things that I want to do, especially for the Greeks that are listening, is I'm curious to do like a challenge, like a before and after challenge. I want to do a challenge where there's a picture of who we were before Greek, and then the picture of who we are because of Greek. because I can tell you right now, a suit, you couldn't put me on a suit. I was Timberland boots, I was shell toes. I was very into the urban culture. I didn't even understand the importance of wearing a suit until I was forced to do it in order to become a member. And in my advisor, I bought my first suit from him, and then it kind of just changed how I felt as a person. And then from that, I became the Polemarch, which was the president of the chapter. So then I learned the business. I learned Robert's Rule of Order. I learned the politics of Kappa. They taught me how to run a business, because when you're running a chapter, a lot of these undergraduates, a lot of them, they think it's parties, they think it's accolades, it's, running the yard, and GPA and all that stuff that's associated with it. But one of the most important aspects of running a chapter is you're actually running a business, and you conduct yourself like you're running a business, and you have meetings, you have minutes. And if you really embody that and learn that while you're being forced to learn it, then you can really kind of transfer that over to your real life. So I would say the biggest asset for me was understanding the business of Kappa and understanding how it works. And I translate that in my life, in my business life.
Hey, that's well stated, man. And I like how you compare it to a business. It's not even a comparison. It really is what it is. I mean, because you have all types of responsibilities and things that you're accountable for to keep that organization going and growing. So last question on that topic is, what advice would you give to someone who's considering joining a fraternity or sorority?
Do your research, which is the traditional thing that everybody says. But more importantly, figure out what your values are. Figure out what you stand for, who you are as a person, because the power of the D9 is we each have our own kind of identity, like that we embody, and we kind of have our own causes. They all kind of align, but each organization has their own specific kind of persona. So figure out what that is that you want to do, what kind of contribution you want to, give to the world, and how that organization aligns with you. And then be serious about it. Don't just do it for the social aspect. That's going to come naturally, but really try to get something from it, because it's a benefit. So really think about how this can benefit your life for the immediate future and for the long term.
I love it, man. You seem like you're fueled by some of the same things that led me to start this platform. And I love it. It's good to see it. And I hope it becomes contagious, man. And speaking of platform, tell us about this ProFights app and this new venture you have going on. What's that about?
Well, so ProFights app, it's been going on since 2012. So I launched it in 2012 as a .com. It was an inspiration because there were a lot of other platforms that kind of came out. One of the ones that I'm really close with, because he's a fraternity brother of mine, is Divine Nine Online, Prince. When he launched that, I remember running into him at a Landing Green picnic, like, oh my gosh, this is a great concept. I love this idea. And he kind of built it on it. And then I don't know how he transitioned it, but I remember I started jumping into marketing very heavily, and I wanted a way to have access to members just on my phone. That's when the startup community started really blowing up. And I wanted to kind of just have it on my phone because I was traveling a lot, and I wanted to be able to connect with brothers outside of me wearing my Nelia at the airport, hoping somebody stopped me, which happened every time. So that's kind of what ProFights became about. It was like a way for us to unite and come together where we have access to each other. Because one thing that I learned is once you graduate, your letters is for everybody. Like I've had more non-Kappa members give me a handout and really help me out and give me advice. And really just because I was a Kappa, they really showed me that brotherhood and sisterhood more than anything. And I realized, okay, it's actually bigger than our own individual organization. So ProFight's mission is pretty much to unite all D9 members on one platform. Like we can network, we can do community service, we can do economic empowerment. Like you have the ability to kind of post your own business on there. You can post your own products on there and sell, but you have to be verified. That's one of the most important parts of the platform. You have to be verified. So we have a very strict verification process. But once you're verified, all the benefits are available, and a lot of other benefits that we're going to expose as well. So a lot of benefits that we're going to add to the platform. This is just the beginning. This is for us, by us. So let's come together and let's really make this the platform that can benefit everybody.
Hey, so tell us, where can we download the app?
Go to profights.com, PROPHYTES.com. It's available on iPhone, on Android. You can go to the App Store, the Play Store. It's available, and it's free to join. So go ahead and get your membership. go ahead and get verified. Do that as soon as possible because there's a premium membership as well that we have available. And there's some other aspects where you can add your own business because we have a Greek business directory as well. And there's a lot of other features that we're releasing in the coming year, like top of the year, to really increase the engagement and really get Greeks more involved in the community and their local area.
Hey, I'm excited for you folks out there listening to this episode. Definitely check it out. I already have it on my phone. I was scrolling through. I was impressed with the content. You know how some of the other popular platforms, all kinds of crap gets in the way. You don't have that here. And I was really impressed, man. And I'm looking forward to networking and being a part. And we're going to see if we can make some things happen. All right.
I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that.
Eric Usher, Pro Fights. Just go get the app, everybody. You need to see what ways are being leveraged to kind of keep in contact in this new virtual space. I encourage everybody to go check it out, man. We appreciate you stopping by and talking to us for a few minutes on Greekly Speaking, and we look forward to seeing what you got coming for us in the future, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate that. We are stronger united, guys.
There you go. I love it. Take care, man.
All right. Bye-bye.